What's going on, builders and collectors? Today we got another set restoration video. We're rebuilding set number 7261-2, the Clone Turbo Tank non-light up version. This is an episode 3 set released in 2006. Now when this set came out, it retailed for only $90 US. Pretty good deal considering you got 8 minifigures and it came with 813 pieces. Taking a look at our minifigures from left to right, we have 2 B1 battle droids, one coming with a nice little turret build. We have a Mace Windu with a chrome hilt. Now this is the non-light up Mace Windu. And then we have a Phase 2 clone trooper. Now all of these clone troopers came with the black headpiece, not the clone headpiece that we see nowadays. And then we have a jet trooper, which I think is a really cool clone with his jetpack type deal. But then, to finish it off, we have the 2 best minifigures in this set, and 2 of my favorite minifigures of all time. We have a clone commander with his 2 pistols and his pauldron. This looks really good. And as well as a scout trooper, and another amazing minifigure. Both of those minifigs are going for good prices even today. Now that I've given you a brief overview of the set, we'll be jumping into the side builds that come with this set first. Let's rebuild this turret, as well as this speeder bike. We'll build those, review them, and then get into a full build of the set. And stay tuned for the end of the video, where we'll review everything and give you prices on the minifigures and what it costs you to buy this set today. Now that we've got our side builds out of the way, let's have a brief look at them. You can see we have this white turret. This will go along with the turbo tank. You'll see that later in the video. Now it can rotate 360 degrees as well as the guns moving up and down. You'll see this small piece on the side. This is actually just a locking mechanism to hold it into the turbo tank. Again, you'll see that later. And then we have this nice speeder bike. As you can see, we have some nice printed shield pieces there, really good, as long as a printed piece on the back. Now our scout trooper goes along with this side build. It looks really good in there. Now that we've seen that, let's jump right into building the turbo tank. I won't hold you guys any longer. Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the finished product, our 2006 Clone Turbo Tank. Now this is a great set. Not the most beautiful with the greebling, but it's 2006. We gotta cut them some slack. Before we get into the build, let's have a closer look at these minifigures. Again, we got Mace Windu. He's got the chrome hilt, which is the proper hilt for this character. Unfortunately, we're missing his cape, as well as the proper lightsaber piece. This purple piece is from the new fighter tank set. I lost his proper lightsaber piece, unfortunately. I'll have his price on the screen now. Great figure, nothing special though. I think the new Mace Windu, we can all agree, is much better. Let's get him out of the way. Again, we have this Jetpack Trooper, just a regular Phase 2 clone, but that jetpack build is what's really special about him. Great looking figure. Nothing special though, nothing too crazy. You could probably recreate that jetpack for any trooper. Let's get him out of the way now. We already had a look at this. Let's just get that out of here. Now here is our Clone Commander. Great minifigure. A lot of people thought this was Commander Cody, or liked to use it as Commander Cody back in the day. It's not, unfortunately, but still a great minifigure. You gotta love that pauldron. That's great. The torso printing is great. You love the old revolvers for his dual wield pistols. That's really cool. He's got some back printing there on his torso piece. Great minifigure. We'll have his price on the screen now too. And let's just get him out of here. And lastly, we'll have a closer look at our Scout Trooper. This is always a great fig. You gotta love it. It brings up so much nostalgia from playing with Lego as a kid. We are missing some back printing on the torso. That would have been really nice. But not really any complaints. Other than that, you got leg printing as well as a nice torso on the front. I'll have his price on the screen now. And that's it for the minifigures. Now that we got the minifigures out of the way, let's have a closer look at the set itself. Just bring it in a little closer. Now, I know it looks like this side would be the front. It's not. This is the front. We have our pilot here, or our driver, however you want to say it. Let's get these battle droids out of the way. Now, it would be nice. I'll start off by saying it would be nice for this whole front piece to lift up. But it's just this small, if we get this minifigure out of here, just this small little hatch on the front. This dome piece, or whatever you want to call it, dish, is preventing this from coming up. But you can open the sides a little bit, as well as the front. Now this raises up and down to allow your clone to be peeking out of that hatch. I gotta say, a lot goes into building such a little feature. It's cool, it's 2006, but this could have been a lot better if it was made today. Now, I'm sure you're wondering where that turret that we saw earlier is. Oops, didn't mean to open that. It's inside the build. You just lift up this little lever. Now I will say this piece tends to pop up a lot. It's not secured down by anything. Not really great thing there. Our turret actually got knocked out of place a little bit. Let's move him. He's supposed to be secured by this little thing on the side. We saw that earlier. If I pull him out, this just lifts up and down to secure it with those yellow bricks. Get that out of here, and look, our little lever popped up again. Put that back on, close it up. Now the other side opens exactly the same way, nothing special. If we look in this middle piece, this opens up here. We can see a little reactor type deal. So you can see they got those trans orange pieces. I don't know, represent power or something underneath. It's a cool little attention to detail there. Oh, lost a turret on the top here. Put that back in place. And the back opens up pretty nicely. If we spin it around, that turret's not staying on there very good. That's the thing about this set. They did what they could with the pieces they had available in 2006, but some of these things pop off pretty easy. You have room here for 2 clones you can put in the back, as well as, you know, you can say this is greebling, but just another blaster for the clones if you ask me. Put that back on there. Now, if we close that, oh, that came right off. See, these hinge pieces don't really stand the test of time, I gotta say. If we close this back up, you can see that the whole thing swivels side to side. Now, on the middle wheel, we have a spring piece that pushes this back upright. And as you turn it, if you lean it to the right, it'll turn to the left. And if you lean it to the left, it'll turn to the right. So that's a cool feature. It kind of pushes these front and back wheels to either side as you lean it. As well as these wheels being steady, Kind of gives you some extra support. Not a bad play feature, you know, pushes around really good, no resistance. You can push it on carpet or whatever you want as a kid. It's great. You got these front little turrets, so I guess cannons, not turrets, because they rotate. This piece rotates 360 pretty freely. There's nothing really to give it resistance there, so it could be good or a bad thing depending on how you look at it. It tends to flop back in the down position. You can sometimes get it to stay like that, but that's not the best design. Would have liked to see something a little better there. Overall, pretty good set. I will say I'm missing a couple pieces. You can see that green piece isn't the right piece, as well as that green piece. Might have lost them over the years. This set's been out since 2006, and I bought it as a kid, so I'm happy I was just able to put it back together as much as I did. Now, I'll say it's not the best looking set. There's definitely better turbo tanks out there in terms of the design. The size, however, is great, especially compared to the newer turbo tanks. Now, let's give this a rating out of 10 in terms of playability and in terms of the looks. Let's start with playability. I'd say it's a pretty good set. You don't have any Flix-Fire missiles or the big cannons that we used to see in these old sets. I know you guys know what I'm talking about. Those were great cannons, had a lot of power. But it is nice. You can push it around, turn it. You can put your guys in there. You do have this lookout tower on the top that'll come up and lock into place. This locking mechanism is really just you flipping a little clip around the corner of a brick, and I just feel like something's going to snap over time. This is not the best design. Let's give this a 7 out of 10 in terms of playability. And in terms of looks, in terms of appearance, we're going to go even lower. I'm going to say it gets a 4.5 out of 10. There's a lot of open space, especially right here. You know, on newer sets, you're not going to see just that much open stud. The price to buy this set now is a little bit much. I'm going to have to put that on screen as I don't know it off the top of my head. It's very expensive. I know that. I know it's definitely not worth you buying this set brand new in box. Definitely wait for them to come out with a new turbo tank, as I'm sure that'll be much better. Anyway, that's all I got to say about this set. Thanks for sticking around till the end, guys. This has been another great video for me, restoring a classic set from my childhood. We'll see you in the next video, where we're going to be building a TIE Fighter Squadron with some old sets and some new sets. We're going to build 2 brand new sets that I just picked up on May 4th. So thanks, and I'll see you guys next time.